Good morrow, scholars. Welcome to, I guess would this count as a vlog? I'll call it a vlog, but I don't know. I decided, since I'm doing a bunch of Star Wars stuff, I might just skip a little segment of our Walmart After Dark for today, so I could talk about this, because it's something that's been bugging me for a while. As you know, I talk about my friend Miga quite often, and he's kind of a doofus. He's a great guy, I love him, he's kind of a doofus. And I say that because he, kind of like Michael, once he has an idea in his head, it's right, and anyone who comes along and has something that either refutes it or disproves it, he won't acknowledge it for the sake of the fact that, it renders him wrong. Although he would have always been wrong retroactively, he just doesn't like to admit it. So I figured he was talking about a couple of quotes from Star Wars, and this was a while ago. But I figured, since I'm reading these, why not talk about that? Because it's kind of funny. And he has somewhat of a point, but his point was wrong? I guess he was almost right for the wrong reason, but he wasn't quite right. Now, the quote he had a problem with was, "Only a Sith deals in absolutes," from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, said by Obi-Wan Kenobi to Anakin, in regards to Anakin saying if they're not with him, they're his enemy. Now, on the surface, this looks like he's saying, as they put it, it's an absolute statement, and if only Sith deal in absolutes, then he's missing the point of being a Jedi and everybody's a Sith. That's what it looks like on the surface to them. I'm sure a lot of you would understand what was actually said. What's actually being said, and the reason why Obi-Wan doesn't pull out his lightsaber, until after, is he's trying to convince Anakin to turn from the dark side before he has no choice but to kill him. He's warning him that he will be a Sith, and as a Jedi, he will have to fight and try and kill him. But he doesn't want to. He wants to get him essentially to repent, because he doesn't want to give up on his friend. That's what's being said in that little exchange. Not. And another thing, dang it, the line isn't referring to using absolutes in context of, say, words, so much as it is, he says specifically deals in absolutes. This is referring pretty much explicitly to having somebody be your enemy if they won't stand with you, or if they won't agree with you. This would be like me saying, if Miga doesn't like Star Wars, we can't be friends. That's an absolute, and that would make me the Sith in this, but I'm not like that, so we don't have a problem. Oh, also, he doesn't like Doctor Who. He's a hipster and he hates everything popular. Go let him know. Go to the Gotham City Critics right now and be sure to tell him I sent you. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Another thing that's always bugged me is just, well, I would start rambling. He just kind of he has a hard time listening to other people unless they agree with him. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. We've all had days like that, and we've all had to deal with people like that, but there comes a time where you just have to acknowledge the fact that you're wrong. And he almost always is when we disagree. I think only twice have we had a discussion where I was wrong and he was right. I think I could be just misremembering to make him feel better. You know what? I'll let you know. See if he can't remember. Anyway, the next quote, and this one is kind of obvious for you guys, especially since I snuck in a little reference to it in the little bit before, is Yoda's from Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Do or do not. There is no try. Now, this here is both an absolute statement, much like what Obi-Wan said, but also is something dealing in an absolute. This is saying that you, essentially, either you succeeded or you failed, but you get no points for trying. There's no participation trophy. And here's the reason. As you all remember from Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, did you know that Return of the Jedi was originally going to be called Revenge of the Jedi? And then George Lucas realized, wait, Jedi don't seek revenge. Anyway. What was I saying? Dang it. Why do I do this to myself? I like that I actually waited for a response. Anyway. But, as you all remember, I remember now, from Episode 3, Yoda had tried to overthrow Emperor Palpatine. Darn it, turtles. And he failed. And he spent the next 20-some-odd years in exile, mulling that over. And, of course, he would become very jaded, which isn't a joke because he's green. You know, he failed. It doesn't matter that he tried. He didn't keep the Emperor from attaining power. He didn't keep the Emperor from killing all of the Jedi, killing all the younglings, all of that. He failed. And that was what was important. Not that he tried to stop it, that he failed. So, imagine being a parent and you tried to keep your family from being killed by a break-in gone wrong. But you didn't. You wouldn't see it as, I did my best. You would see it as, I failed. And if you remember, Yoda was able to feel everyone's death from all over the galaxy during Order 66. Spoilers in case you've never seen this movie. So, Miga, don't watch this. Anyway. But also, another thing about it is the fact that if you try, you leave yourself open with a little bit of doubt so that you don't try, you don't go, you don't give it 100%. Yeah, that's how I want to say it. Instead, you'll go like 75, 80% and say, well, I tried and it didn't work. But if you go in with the mentality, sink or swim, you're going to be trying extra hard. Oh, I'll get into that in a second. Wait. No, that's not what I meant. To succeed, because you don't want to fail. But you're not afraid of failing, you just want to succeed. Now, another thing is a lot of people here do or do not, there is no try, and say, well, how can I do something if I don't try it first? It's not saying, try something new. It's saying, if you did something, it's not trying. Like, there's two different types of try, I guess, depending on the context of the situation. You've got, that kind of looks wrong. You've got try something new, like, say, you don't like vegetables and you try one. Think about it. Either you ate it or you didn't. So there is no try. I hate vegetables, and I remember growing up and they told me to try it, and I did. I only ate half of it, so I half failed, I guess. I don't know. But it's not saying that there is no trying something new. It's saying that when you do something, either you did it or you failed. Make sense to you? It makes sense to me. Let me know down in the comments if I could explain this better. Wow, already 10 minutes. Whoops. I kind of didn't want it to be that long. Wait. Oh, another thing, real quick. It's not Luke, I am your father. It's no, I am your father. Just in case you thought it was, yeah. Anyway, that's not what's important. There we go. Also, do I look different without my glasses on? I feel like I do. Also, Batman again. You'd think I'd have Star Wars t-shirts, wouldn't you? I don't. It's so strange. I'm gonna go get some probably on Wednesday. I can't find my Five Nights at Freddy's t-shirts. Okay. Oh, another quick one. It's from Return of the Jedi. It's Princess Leia's. Although, since her planet is destroyed, she's not really a princess anymore. Kind of like how Vegeta really isn't a prince. That's not important. Well, technically he is. Because as prince, that would make him over Gohan since he's half Saiyan. And Gohan's grandfather on his mother's side is the Ox King. So whatever like land and people he rules over, Vegeta would be like the High King of hiking. Anyway, she says, I think it was somehow I've always known in regards to Luke saying that she's his sister. Now, there's a lot of jokes you can make about that and questionable reactions you can give to that, which, you know, is perfectly understandable. But I think it's really more along the lines of, since they met, they knew they had some sort of a connection, even if they weren't, like, consciously aware of it. And someone pointed out, after their kiss in The Empire Strikes Back, they probably both felt a little weird. It's up for you to decide, I suppose. It's just my 2 cents, which I have right here. You know what? I think I might call this Ben's 2 cents. Star Wars edition. Yeah, I'm calling it that. Yay! If you have any more quotes that you were confused by or didn't like in Star Wars, I can do my best to try and explain them in such a way that people might accept them for what they are, or we can figure out a way that it should have been said so that it makes sense to you, or just makes sense in general. Also, did you know that pennies cost more to make than they are worth? I realize that sounds contradictory, but, you know, it's true. Okay, I think that's it. I'm going to start the chapter soon. Wish me luck, you guys, and until next time. Goodbye, everybody.